Married at First Sight Watch Party, Part 2. Hey, everybody. This is Auntie. Hey dear Sheila. Welcome, boo. You the first one up in here. I have been missing it, but I said I'm not missing it no more. Okay? With having y'all out here. Hey there, Ray Della. So let me see if I can pull up the show. This is a watch party. And so it's basically a watch along. Because of copyright infringement laws, I will not be playing it. I will be pausing during that time period that the show is going, and then we will unpause and have a discussion during a commercial break. So I'm excited. Hi y'all. I miss y'all. Hello there, Janella. Hey DM2023. Hey there. So glad y'all came in. Let me see. We got 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes before it starts. I believe it comes on at 8 o'clock. I'm more than sure it does. Hold on. Let me go to my library. Scheduled. Married at First Sight. Hasn't started yet, has it? Let me see. Series recording scheduled. Let me see if I can go to it live. Let's see if we can go to live TV. And that's Lifetime, right? Hoping everybody had a fantastic day. Hello there, sweetie. Hey, Swade. Let me see if I can find it. Instead of y'all blowing me up, I said, let me get out here with y'all. Oh, no. Okay, so it's Lifetime. Okay, so where is it? This is going into... Where is it? Let's see. Yeah. Do y'all think that Kevin Frasier has done a good job? Put a thumbs up if you think he has. Put a thumbs down if you think he hasn't. This reunion, y'all let me know what y'all think about Kevin. Do y'all think that Kevin Frasier did a good job, y'all? Let me know in the chat. Here we go, y'all. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
At home, and it was just like to know that it was there, that I could still kind of do it. It made you feel like you still had the swag.
He got his chest all puffed out.
Okay, so you tell me officially, when was the kiss downstairs?
You a lie, David.
Because her and Michelle were getting into it, and that was the first kiss. Is this the truth?
David is saying that the first kiss was at the stop.
There's no way that you send that text message without having a physical relationship before. That's how I truly feel.
What about that text message made you feel like they would have a physical relationship?
David lying. Red lipstick, are you dressed and looking pretty? Can you come up with me? I would love to host this with you. Let me know in the chat.
Can't wait for
Okay, let Ray Della know, and Ray Della can send me a private message in the chat, and then I'll drop the link for you. No, go ahead, Kevin.
No.
Yeah, gave her an excuse to get out the relationship and to make him the villain when she's been the villain the whole time.
There's always something.
Oh, now he was inauthentic.
Like it's something about.
But she keeps saying that David is a good guy. Which one is it? No, you didn't like the cigarettes. You didn't like the cursing. You didn't like he lived with his parents. Come on, Michelle. Way to spend something. She never considered building anything with David.
We did have that conversation.
Exactly.
Or
at least she ain't lie about it.
happy after. What kind of security are you going to
Get
give
out
to
of
Madison?
here. The goal is to be
I'm gonna
married
give
to
her the world.
Madison.
I give her financial security. I give her emotional. What is financial security? Just so we can clarify all this, because she does when we go out, and that I open up a car door, walk through the revolving door first, walk on the side of the curb. I
David's so blase and nonchalant. That is a bad trait in a man. Nonchalant and blase.
No, you're gonna be fine.
I hate that David was such a horrible catch for Michelle. And I hate that she got an out because he was such a dishonest, scandalous, diabolical cheater. I hate that because on any other season but this one, David would have gotten called. He'd have been called out and just dragged all through the mud with nobody like siding with Michelle on any or like on one inkling of this. But because he was but because he was so diabolical with this, does this need to be charged? Okay. I think 78% charge will help me stay here with y'all. I had to do something with my other laptop, and because of that one, I don't know if I unplugged this one. And I think that is my fear, that this one is unplugged. Hold on for a second, y'all. Let me find out, because this is diabolical all in this. Find out what's going on with the battery life. But because, yeah, I see Becky, David's action gave Michelle a pass. It really, really did. It really, really did. Auntie said all the words I was thinking. Yeah, I just hate that and now he's so blasé and it's so cool and it's cute and Madison's the girl and I got property now. You know what I'm saying? I's married now. I's this and I's that. David, you still ain't. Now, you don't get a pass. You get a pass for the stuff that Michelle did. But the stuff that you've been doing, you got to own that. I'm sorry, you're going to have to own it. But he is so blasé and nonchalant, and he's acting like this stuff is cute and like he solved some type of, like he solved some kind of, like what? Like what, y'all? It's making me feel some kind of way. Just the nonchalantness of it. He just think it's so cute. Right. And he doing exactly what Michelle feared. Living with Madison, coming on a come up. He talking about some, she the breadwinner. What the so you just basically one of those dudes. I was getting ready to say I was about to use the N-word. And I don't be playing with the N-word, but I'm telling you, that N-word almost slipped up. That almost slipped up all over my tongue. You one of them men that like to live off of women. Let's see if what's been going on, if any of that comes out, so we can get a clue from where all of this stuff started from with him bad mouthing Carla. Let's see, y'all.
I think that in
Carla
the
should have
beginning,
wore a
everyone was so
nude.
optimistic
She should have
about you
wore
two,
nude
and there was so
cover-ups
much
with that
hope.
dress and not black.
What was the thing that
It
attracted you
throws
to
the
each
dress
other
off. The
in
dress
the
is
beginning?
pretty,
I love
but
her eyes. You know, she has a very beautiful.
Columbia.
not the soft
He
life.
was very passionate. Usually it takes for me being his partner at that
I agree with that, Carla.
The day when he went and left and disappeared and golfed and
I
said,
agree with
I
that,
had a good time
Carla.
without you.
How are you enjoying yourself?
I'm really enjoying myself. I'm having such a good time. I had a special day with David today. We were like little 15-year-old kids, just like happy.
So she knew this all the way back then.
Really
it
not
didn't
a good thing
end
to say.
it.
That was so hateful, and it came off not good at all. You know, I going into it, I was like, you know, I want to be realistic about this. You know, at this point, I had known Carla for like a total of 4 or 5 days.
Wow.
You know, can I say that I'm like all in, like 110%, and this is my wife?
Why is Carla making those faces? I think that's so unnecessary, but okay. Girl.
Ron is pissing me off, okay?
He is. Why? Okay, you know you got girl. Why? Now this is a side of wine I ain't never seen, child. This some bullshit.
Like him just saying, I forgot that he said he forgot about her. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He's so rude.
Now that, but you know, did you see the video that I did the other day when Juan was like, I was respectful, I was this and I was that? I never thought about it from Kevin Frazier's perspective when he was like, that's how you're supposed to be.
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't get brownie points for being like that.
Yeah. He acts like he's doing her a favor. And I've watched a couple. So, okay, good. It's commercial break. So the YouTube channel that he wrote that
don't say
whole
the
Reddit
name
thing
of it. Don't say the name of it.
I can't remember, but the one he wrote the one that he did the Reddit response to, I went and watched the video response that they did to him and everything that he said in that whole letter that he wrote. And I mean, they did a fantastic job breaking it down because they were like, you took the time out of your day to like respond to this video in this way with like a 15 paragraph letter, and mainly because he was fishing for votes in Reddit online, and people have been basically roasting him. And so he's trying to like redeem his reputation and make people think that he's actually a good guy. And I said, I don't think that people thought you were a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it was pretty clear to us that you were not invested from the get-go. Like even before she quit her job, he really wasn't that invested because the honeymoon, she didn't quit that job during the honeymoon. She wasn't doing a ton of crystals and chakras and all that. She might have maybe what do they call when you light the little incense? Maybe she did that once or twice. I don't know, but I just couldn't see her doing so much during a couple days on a honeymoon where you would just check out that way. So I just don't think he ever came on the show to actually get married. All the guys that were trash on this show and Love is Blind, they all keep saying this was a social experiment. And I feel like that's a term they use to justify their behavior.
Justification.
Yes. They're just like, this is a social experiment. I said, first off, Love is Blind, you're proposing to somebody. And in this show, you're actually marrying somebody. Yeah. Like, it's not an experiment per se. I guess you could say that, but it's not. But I guess maybe how they're not associating it with a commitment. It's like you don't get to remove the commitment from the experiment. I've never seen a successful experiment be executed without commitment in some way, shape, or form, whether it's scientific, whatever the case may be. For him, his only commitment was just to not go home and leave her. But he had no commitment to really getting to know her, to really investing into the relationship. If there were issues, to actually sitting down and addressing those issues when they had multiple meetings with the therapist. He never once brought up any of these issues. And then he got online after the fact now because people were coming for him and is talking trash about her online because everybody thought she was great and he's trying to make her seem not so great now, which is it's just so immature. It's just so immature.
I did not know that. I mean, I haven't been keeping up with it. I just saw that. But Carla knew. She said from the honeymoon.
Yes.
So why did she stay?
I think she was just on the show, and at that point, she's like, "Let me go ahead and get my free rent, for these 2 months." And you know what? As expensive as Chicago is, baby, I don't blame you. She's like, "I'm getting all my coins. I'm getting all my coins. I'm gonna get my free rent. I'm gonna get my time on TV so I can find me a new man, and I'm gonna show my best self." And I guarantee she had people blowing her DMs up. There's probably plenty of men out there that are like, "You don't need to work, boo. I got you."
Yeah, absolutely. But here's the thing: before it comes back out, what coast are you on? It's back.
Arizona.
Are you on the East Coast?
West.
Okay, so for me, it's back on. So I'm a mute.
Okay.
You can keep talking though.
Okay, yeah, it's like a few seconds behind, I think, on mine. So yeah, I'm in well, technically mountain time. So like 5 o'clock where I'm at right now. But yeah, I'm sure you guys are saying in the comments too how you felt about David. And yeah, I see somebody says he was bonding with David. I said, yeah, because they were both trash. So of course they were getting along and bonding. Neither one of them were gonna hold each other accountable for anything. So he saw a buddy in that. I think he thought David was using this as a social experiment too. Like he was not taking it. I don't think Juan thought anybody was really taking this seriously. And then come to find out some people, especially the women, were very much taking this seriously. Madison might have been the only one that was suspicious. Okay, it's back for me too.
Don't forget to mute so we don't hear the show.
I think so too. Definitely could see.
Oh, okay, you got on earplugs.
She
Okay,
was a great partner.
that's what I guess I need to do.
Carl, I want to also ask you.
I think so too. I think it went exactly the way it was supposed to.
He's a liar. He said that she was the perfect partner, but then he went online after and complained that she didn't cook or clean. And he did the most of that.
But I think that production pushed that too, because remember when he was in there cleaning up the bathroom and stuff like that, they were pushing that very early on, making sure that they highlighted Carla not cleaning cleaning the bathroom for the housewarming party or when they got back. Remember, so I think the production was pushing that same narrative.
Yeah, because I'm like, why are you putting that out now? Like you're on this.
He's not putting it out now because it was a narrative during the show.
Well, no, so in the letter that he wrote, he did.
Yeah, he did. He said something, but he said that based on them already spinning that. So that when you heard it from Juan, it was oh yeah, that's right. When they came back, you understand what I'm saying? They had already been spinning that narrative about Carla.
I think that only works if he wouldn't be on this reunion show saying she was the perfect partner, because he's listing it as a fault of hers and why he didn't want to be with her in this letter, and then he's on this reunion saying she was the perfect partner. So is she the perfect partner, or were these other issues actually really an issue, or are you just grasping for straws right now? And did you even tell her, would you mind picking up some of the slack on this? Because if you just never said anything either, she might you like doing those things.
Yeah. I just think that he is spinning on a narrative that was already out there. I think a lot of this is scripted. So what I did just recently find out, and I don't know whether or not you know, because they're boring, y'all. I'm listening to them, but I ain't listening. They're boring.
Yeah, this is very boring.
Yeah, they're very boring. So what I did find out is that they get married on a Monday. Did you find that out? They get married on a Monday?
No, I didn't.
The ceremony is just for them spinning, right? The ceremony is for them spinning, allegedly, the narrative of the couples, right?
Okay.
They have the fake ceremony, and then on Monday, they actually go and get married at a courthouse.
Okay. So that ceremony, like there's basically they don't go like normal people do where they go ahead of time and get their license and do all that. They're doing all that stuff after the fact.
But they said that the narrative is already spent during a honeymoon. I mean, during a wedding. So, for instance, let's use David and Michelle, for instance. They already knew that David was living at home. So David was already prompted at the wedding to say that.
Okay.
To disclose that information. I didn't think that the show was that scripted, but it appears that the show is very scripted.
So they're basically creating that drama in that moment.
At the wedding.
Irritating.
It is irritating because here's the thing. Me and my natural habitat, you and your natural habitat, we're more entertaining.
Very much so. When it's natural.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm saying you're right. When it's natural, when you're being your natural self, significantly more entertaining.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm a hoot.
You are. You definitely are.
I am crazy as hell in real life.
And I love it.
It's so, just imagine me being in a real situation, right? Where you're really getting to know me. I don't need you to script or try to provoke me to say something. I don't know why reality TV has gotten into this. It used to just be so natural. Now there's nothing that is just, you don't find out later on that has been scripted.
Do you feel like Ready to Love is scripted?
Yes.
Like that too?
Very much so.
I just started trying to catch up on that one. And yeah, even the people they bring on that show, I'm like, this is the cream of the crop in this city. I'm not buying it.
Exactly.
like especially the women. I mean, there were a couple of them that were pretty successful, and I don't know, it just felt very odd to me. And
I
a
mean,
cat.
but why would you bring Cisco and Cisco basically homeless? And Frisco is in an Airbnb. Like you would have to really like if I hooked you up with somebody or had hopes that you were, I would try to give you the best match,
Yeah,
not somebody who's homeless. And then two women are gonna be fighting over him. What
it's
the fuck
crazy.
have we come to?
And having 5 kids by 3 different women, like this is the cream of the crop in Philly. Odd. Very
They're
odd to me.
undateable. That's what I don't understand. These people, in my opinion, are completely and totally undateable. I don't understand it.
Yes.
I just don't.
Well, I'm glad we don't have to go back and forth with Juan and Carla anymore. I mean, I'm sure they'll have a little bit more online, but I mean, he clearly came on this show to promote himself and his future businesses. And okay, that's great, but don't try to act like you really came on here to find a wife. You did not. Like you were grasping for straws at things that you could find about Carla. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't tell me that she was not a woman that was moldable.
Yeah.
Like she was, people that are kind of chill like that tend to be very moldable people.
Yeah. You mean Carla?
Uh-huh.
But Carla started playing too because she was like, I'm going to bring my notebook and my paper, and so now when you look at it, it's kind of a shady.
Yeah, I think they're just kind of like, I'm done with this dude.
Hold on. She was shading them. Let me
She
bring
definitely was.
let me bring my notebook and everything. I have my notebook and my pen. So now it was just shade.
And she's stunning too. Like she is absolutely beautiful.
She is. Now
I'm like,
you can't take that away from her.
I don't even think you deserve her, Juan. No shade, but
Have you seen a new girl that he's dating? She looks like Carla.
yeah, she's cute. I think they're at a baseball game or something. The photo. I think he will always attract attractive women because he's not an unattractive guy. He's a very handsome man, but his personality is very wishy washy. I just don't ever foresee him committing really to any woman that would be able to satisfy all the needs he has. I mean, he has to be the star of the show too. I mean, that would be the only way. She'd have to be
I agree
in the shadow.
I agree. I do agree with that.
His career would come first. Everything about him would come first.
And but the thing about it is Juan is fake because he was acting like that warehouse was his. That's a friend of his. Like everything that Juan said he had, even down to Juan's apartment, he was living with his nephew or cousin. Yeah.
I think his job, he was just like a sales manager, like I don't know, like doing like what do they call it? Commission sales, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he tried to make himself out to be this like big entrepreneur that was able to fund his entire life off nothing but that.
True.
And it's like you can be an entrepreneur and also have a full-time job, but don't act like you're just only an entrepreneur and you're not out here hustling like the rest of us with a full-time gig.
Right.
But everybody was lying. I mean, look at Akichi. He was lying about his home too, that he was subletting. A lot of liars on here. The only man that was stable was I guess Alan, but Thomas was okay. But he wasn't like balling.
No.
He was in a shoebox 1-bedroom.
True.
But at least he was honest.
But was in an efficiency, wasn't she? Just about. Camille.
I think they were equally yoked and matched, but it feels like the only unstable woman really was Carla. And she worked in a gig job that you could go anywhere and do. So it wasn't like she couldn't make a living.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna mute it out because the men are coming in.
Okay.
It's all men segment. So
I'll go on mute.
Talk or you want to pause? Let me know.
I'll just go on mute.
I hate that green, that leprechaun green that they decided to wear.
It's very prom tacky.
I like Thomas' cut, but I don't like it when he has that part in the middle.
He doesn't need the part
at all.
For sure.
No, he was a jean jacket.
Like a cover of like GQ for the.
He's not GQ.
Dresses really well.
I mean, I like this hat, but every other outfit he had on was terrible.
Exactly.
Too tight.
Same jean jacket.
It was like a theme, a running theme that we would talk about.
Oh,
Alan has stepped his game up. He done got rather handsome.
He
What
got
do
a
you
black woman. He got a sister. That's why.
I thought that the lady, the hair did not look black. It looked almost Asian to me.
It looked like she had braids to me, and her hands look
I
black.
thought so, but I just was like, it wasn't clear enough to see.
Well, I'll stalk him online until he starts showing photos so we can see.
When he wants something, he goes hard for it.
Okay.
He loves very strongly, so I know that about him.
That made Alan uncomfortable.
To Michelle, instead of Madison by mistake, what would you have done?
I watched the car ride, and God.
I mean, Alan did share about the latex.
Yeah. About food. This is so painful to watch him lie about food. It's so painful.
Poor Alan.
And I just really wanted to connect with you in that way, in that moment. So that's why I sent the text, like something along those lines, you know. But bro, you just like, you know, the tacos. So yeah. Ooh. I'm enjoying some peace, quiet, not having to text anybody and say, where are you? How are you? What are you doing? I'm enjoying.
I do not like that man.
At all.
I needed the absolute.
He lost himself. When? What episode was that?
He's always been selfish.
I hate to say this, but let me ask you a question.
Things that I think as a unit we can all be
Did,
great.
did Camille upgrade Thomas?
Yes, absolutely. But isn't that what a woman does, though? Like when you get married, they say that that's why a man's lifespan extends. He looks better. He feels better. I mean, that's how you know you found a good partner for yourself. You should be upgraded. If you're not upgraded as a man and you're married to a woman, that's probably not the woman for you. It's probably not a good fit. But yeah, he looks good though.
She definitely upgraded him.
He looks great.
He does. Now I did not like that little baby Bob when he had that part like going like that. I thought he looked like baby Bob. But on tonight with the nice little, the cut, like he looks good.
He found a happy medium, and I think she also is just letting him be himself. And instead of her trying to change him like she kind of was before, I think she gets it now. She's like, no, I don't need to change him. Let's just clean it up a little bit. Let's just add a few little details. As I say, throw a few throw pillows on the couch, a new curtain, some new dish rags, perhaps. Just a little razzle dazzle.
Yeah. Do you think that David, just based on what you just saw, you think that David and Alan are going to be friends again? I think they are because men have a tendency to do that when women will remain catty until your funeral.
Very much so.
You think so?
And I think too the difference is that Michelle can't get over it. Michelle's so bitter and angry and lonely that she can't get over it. And I think that age gap thing too is another thing for her. Like when you're a 40-year-old woman and it's just like the old trope. Oh, great, he left me for a younger woman, and they're just living happy and everything. But I don't think it's clicking for her. Like Madison's taking care of this man. Do you want to take care of a man? Like Madison is sacrificing to be with this guy. So I mean, she's given up something. But I thought it was interesting. I get really sick and tired of guys like telling men like Ikechi, oh, you need an artistic woman to know your vibe. Like I've dated artistic men before, and I'll tell you right now, it has nothing to do with you being artistic. It has everything to do with your ability to like not be able to commit. I mean, you're all over the place. It's like that Renaissance man thing that they talk about. Where like the Renaissance man they can't focus on one thing. They can't stay committed to one thing. They're all over the place. And to me, Akechi is very all over the place. And that has nothing to do with him being artistic. That just has everything to do with
music is math.
Yes.
If you're a teacher or like my daughter, and you're struggling in math, pick up an instrument, learn how to read sheet music. It's music, it's math. It's not artistic.
No.
Like there is a rhyme and a reason.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I did all the
music. It's just as much science. Yeah. So it comes from the stems.
And they assume if you're, it's like his excuse for maybe not financially being where he wants to be at in life, he's blaming that on being artistic. And I'm like, I was very artistic. That had nothing to do with me finding a career where I could maybe have a balance or whatever and be able to bring in some coin.
Exactly, because
So
I can sing my can off when I want
yes.
to.
And if you're not able to do that financially, just off being creative, as he says, then that needs to be a hobby now. Like if you're struggling to make ends meet, or it's really tough for you to be able to take care of yourself, at what point does that at 41 years old become a hobby?
Yeah.
Like when do we make that transition? I know you love to rap and all. However, are we a rap? Are we trying to become a rapper at 50 with nothing else to fall back on? Or what are we doing? And MM still wanted kids. Like, what was he producing for her to make her think financially, time wise, he would even be able to commit as a father? Like, he was not. He should have probably got a woman that maybe if he said I want a woman that doesn't want children or doesn't have any children, that might have been a better fit. But why would you
But
get
that
with a
would have
woman
ruled
that
out
can't do
that, but
that?
that would have ruled out his Michelle Obama.
Well, he's not ready for a Michelle.
Hell no. He's
And
not
also,
even ready for the I in Michelle Obama. Like, come
and you
on.
can tell it's like if he would have read Michelle's biography and actually known about Michelle, Michelle was a boss lawyer. Like she's like extremely
Boy.
intelligent, extremely driven. Like Obama almost didn't get him a Michelle
Yeah, because
Obama.
at that time she was stepping down to date Obama.
Period. She was
Period.
definitely doing that. Okay.
Okay.
But
Period.
he had to demonstrate to her what his potential would be. Just like he
Exactly.
told her, he said, I'm going to run for senator. I'm going to write a book and get us out of debt. And she says, you better do that. I'm going to leave you. She was not playing. Love did
At
not pay the
all.
rent. Love did not pay the rent, Akiche,
At
Ikiki,
all.
whatever you call him.
Icky icky yeah.
That
But
one.
the experts are out here. Let's see what these
Okay.
experts decide.
Sorry, y'all. I'm about 30 seconds behind, so that's why I'm slow.
Challenge them or judge them.
I can't wait for this. Everybody did not want marriage, Pastor. Come on.
Kind of get caught
Michelle
up
actually
and
looks
answer
better
any questions
single.
they have.
She looks great.
Like
She
since the
had the
show ended,
baby.
I think moved on and
But he learned that on his own, not
to
because y'all
bend
gave
and
him any
maneuver so much
advice
for
on
someone
how
else.
to
Yeah, no, I
navigate
think
this
that was
situation.
huge
They
because,
gave him
I mean,
nothing.
I think there was a couple.
And why was there no follow up? Like that just pissed me off that Dr. Pepper was like, "Well, I don't know what's going on." Where's the follow up
Exactly.
for these people?
It's like Survivor.
Why didn't Dr. Pia say these things when she was recognizing that Madison was pushing him to do stuff that he didn't need to do? Why did you just let it go on? I'm getting irritated watching them. It's like, why are you being an expert now? You weren't an expert the
Very
whole time.
irritated. That's what my brother said. That's when he shot his shot.
Trying to shoot your shot.
I agree.
It's a
Also,
Good question.
rumors.
dim.
With Tremfya, most people saw 100% clear skin that stayed clear.
Go for it.
I'm glad that Michelle finally owned up at some level to her behavior. That's the first time we've seen her do that the entire season. So she must have, I think when she saw it played back in front of her, she was like, oh my God. I don't think she realized how terrible she was
Absolutely.
till she saw it.
Absolutely. Did you see the poll?
Not yet.
So I have a second poll up. That second poll question is, are you shocked that Michelle was hoping the text was for her?
Oh, that's interesting she said that, because I did wonder.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I did wonder if she would have thought, oh, maybe he's trying, but at the same time, would you have wanted him to try?
Well, she was stuck on herself.
Yeah.
And she thought that she was up here. I worked my way up from poverty, and I've done this in my life and that in my life. And I've often wondered too, because of how Madison's mother was. So I assumed that Madison's mother was an alcoholic or maybe a drug addict, just from some of the stuff. But you think that Madison's mother was a whore?
I mean, she abandoned her too. So,
and I'm wondering if that's why Madison can do the stuff that she do, based on, was her mother a drunken whore?
I think her mama was down at the watering hole, and she probably was like a serial cheater.
I don't mean to drag the girl mother. I'm just asking a question because it came up in the chat. I'm lying. But I'm just saying, was her mother a whore, and she learned how to be a cheating ass, what do you say, down at the watering hole?
At the watering hole.
Is this her mother like daughter?
Square. Her dad's a square, just like Alan, and she doesn't like squares.
Girl, was the she said
she likes a David.
Mammy was transactional.
Yes. I bet you too, her mom probably ran off and took care of some man too. Because she needs to be excited. She needs excitement. But kids need consistency. So Madison's dad was probably consistent. But he couldn't keep her mom. And now look at her. She had
probably watched her mother cheat on her father and everything else.
Yeah.
But she didn't speak highly of her mother at all.
At all.
At all.
At all. I would love to dig deeper into that. I'd be very curious about the details. Like,
all we need to do is see somebody drop some tea on a Reddit feed.
That's true. Man, this has been interesting. I'm waiting for the moment where they get Keiichi back out here and he walks off the stage. That's what I can't wait for.
And it's going to be something dumb, and it's not going to even match what they have on the I hate how they edit it to make us think that it's going to be some real life true drama, and it's just not.
It's going to be nothing.
Something stupid that Pastor Calvin, and it may not even be Pastor Calvin. It may be something that Dr. Pepper sees.
Well, it won't be Pia, because that's her baby daddy. Keiichi, that's her man.
Confessions of Octomom, new episode Monday at 10.
Why you say that?
A year ago.
Here come the bull. Girl, here come the bull. You ready?
It's still a commercial for me. It's still a commercial.
It is MM and Catchy and Brandon.
Oh, I can't wait for this. Okay.
Send it to me and then go in my DMs on Instagram.
Ooh, wonder what that said. Why are they bringing Brandon out here?
Yeah, Brandon
be in
doing
the
too
same room.
much.
I'm like, well, where did you see her? Like, what? How are you not getting that from her?
Why challenge him,
If you're
Dr.
being
P?
honest.
You know he
There we
got
go.
a
I think
fifth grade
that's it.
There we
education,
go.
bitch.
It's because I
You got
was
your full
matched with
experience. You got
someone
the
who wasn't ready to
experience
be
God wanted you to
vulnerable
have. Stop
or
talking
committed
this
to the
robbery
process.
bullshit.
Yeah, not getting it and not wanting it are two different things.
You think he gonna sit on the stage? I thought so. I knew it. I told you with the spin on it. That's so cowardly. That's not a real one, David. That's a coward.
To shake my hand coming out. Why did you think he was man enough to shake your hand? He had a beautiful queen, a woman that was thirsting for him. Everything that a man wants was right there in front of him. He fumbled. Been together.
It's some about Brandon. I swear.
Wow.
Brandon look like he got a snake tongue coming out his mouth. I do not like Brandon.
Well,
Neither do I trust him.
Okay, I just got to the place where he walked out, didn't shake his hand. Brandon's trash too, though. I don't like him either.
Was it the guy or the
Trash.
knee?
And then he goes to David, a loser too.
today saying I have a wife. Wow. Just wow. I tell you what.
He doing
down.
too much.
Okay.
He is doing too much.
He's such a weirdo. He's uncomfortably weird. Cringe would be the word. How old is this man talking like this? This is just like on Ready to Love, the first episode. What was his name? One talking about, I'm not gonna say it, but like he was just saying a lot of cringy stuff too. And I'm like, these men are in their 40s. Like, what happened? What a weirdo. Now he wants to get married.
So unattractive.
Yeah, sit down, weirdo.
A miscarriage.
In the future.
Olivia Pope, Tyra Banks.
I love that. It looks like you found.
Did they even talk about whether or not she wanted to share that information on this show?
Share what information?
Wow.
About the miscarriage?
Are you saying they led her to that? Did I miss that?
No, I mean he's the one that brought it up, but I'm like, did they talk about that? Did she say?
I'm sure, but I'm just like, girl, how the fuck you just been with him a year and you pregnant and having miscarriages?
I mean, she's a lot for me.
I really have, like, I was all for MM, but over the season, I've been questioning a lot of her decision making skills.
Yes.
You know, it's like you got all this brain, right?
And
but
no
you
common
don't use
sense.
it when it comes.
Not an ounce of common sense.
Pregnant, miscarriage. This
And
man
was
got
even
3
divorced?
kids. He's sleeping on his sister's fucking sofa.
And have they even confirmed that he's gotten fully like when did he get fully divorced?
Well, he did. That's why he couldn't get married, because he's not. They did a commitment ceremony. And then you playing with him. You playing with Icky. First of all, if you a fucking man, you ain't got to play with Icky.
No.
You don't even have to pay. You can pay him dust. You got the woman, but you flaunting a relationship in Icky face that he doesn't give a damn about. He never cared about her.
He doesn't even want her.
You didn't win to Icky.
I've never seen somebody act like that. I'm like, he doesn't want her. So in his eyes, he did not fumble anything because he doesn't want her
at all. So what do you? I made a bet in the back. That's so fucking immature.
He treats her as if she's almost not even there.
Yes,
he
agree.
Like looked right through her. So why would you think he would care? And also, you look very opportunistic from the beginning. Everybody was saying you look opportunistic.
Thank you for saying it. Yes.
It's just like, financially opportunistic, trying to get yourself on the show. Then you're on this reunion acting a whole plumb fool. I mean, just
Look
sharing
at
your
the comparison.
it's
You
gross.
see my Olivia Pope and my who else? Who was the other person?
I don't remember the other person he said. It's just weird. It's very weird behavior. And you know what's kind of funny is him and Ikechi are probably more alike than they are different.
Yes.
Except for Brandon is love bombing her
Tall.
to death.
First of all, a black, tall, bald-headed guy already. So he starts off at a 4. If he's tall and he's bald-headed, he starts off at a 4. If he's got a little bit of personality, he said he's got real estate, this and that. Okay, so now he's at a 6. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Let's just go ahead and tell the damn truth out this bitch. I'm so irritated.
Tall chocolate ball. I mean,
so he's about an 8.
You're gonna get away with a lot.
A lot.
Don't have some other things going in your favor, okay?
Yes, all cousins of another persuasion. Y'all may have it different in y'all community, but if he bald-headed, he's at least 6 something, because she's told her damn self. He's at least 6'3". He's already he got half of a job. Bitch, he's an 8.
Minimum. And he could be a cheater. He could be doing all those things. Which is why I see why he's probably gotten away with this, y'all. I mean, if he was like unattractive, he would not have gotten this far.
That's why Icky didn't.
Yes.
Because Icky wasn't attractive that way.
Yes. And I think she is DICK-matized. I think she gave it up quickly.
He said they did
I think she gave it up quickly, and she's been DICK-matized ever since. And making really irrational decisions based off that.
Absolutely. Because to her, he's a perfect fucking 10.
Oh, yeah.
But see, for me, once you say kids, you minus a 4.
And
then you got 2 kids.
And he just up and walked out on the wife.
You going down into the negative with kids. All right, they back. Oh my God, girl, we got so much to talk about.
It's a mess. It's a mess. I hope you guys are loving this in the chat, okay? This is like my dream to be watching this with Auntie right now.
Oh, I want to see what Dr. Pepper old ass say.
Can we talk about how Kevin is killing this, though? He's a great host.
Madison, David, when did things first start to heat up between you two? From the honeymoon, there was that connection there. Thought or two went through. Like, damn, what? to
Wow.
soulmate. I found her in a different way, and
Wow.
I love you, baby. That's basically where we're at.
Well, I
She didn't have no choice but to risk it all. Michelle was running up on her head.
to confide in me. It just was very. It is very attracting.
She was actually.
Sarah, I'm telling you, this is absolutely some bullshit.
You understand what I'm saying?
This is only like reputation saving and it's not working.
Slow it down, bitch. They done brought a house together. He living with her. And she paying all the bills. She's the major bread. Slow down for what? Why the fuck you ain't tell Em to slow down? Em then got pregnant. He ain't had a miscarriage. The fuck is we doing?
Is it just me or is Dr. Pepper pointless?
Unanswered questions.
Hold on, let me see if I can get the point to go down on this pen.
Updates in their lives, so don't go away. Be right back.
Like, what is her purpose?
There was a point at one time, but right now, the point is gone.
She's pointless. She's not followed up with anybody. She knows nothing. She's just offering very surface level feedback. It's like I have never seen somebody look more like someone just fulfilling a contractual obligation than what I'm witnessing right now. She is so pointless.
New episode Monday at 9. Watch
I hope they do not take her to Peacock or wherever they're going because she's pointless.
Here she go, right here. Pay attention down in the comments. No point. This ink pen is no good without a point. No ink in her, nothing. Like, not even ink in her. Like, nothing. Like this right here, I'm going to have to go back and look at all of this because I think I blacked out. I think I literally blacked the fuck out on this. Once David said, we ain't telling y'all about the timeline, I think I blacked out.
Because basically, what he's saying in so many words is we were never going to tell y'all. And it doesn't matter how many times you ask us, we're going to give you a lie. We're not going to tell you the truth. So stop asking us. Because in reality, what does that really do at this point? Like, why does Michelle need to know that at this point? You should be moving on. Alan has moved on. I don't know why
Alan has moved on. I really believe the only thing that Alan wanted to know was, when did you think it was okay to do that?
That's it.
That's it.
We don't need it. What do we need the timeline for at this point?
Michelle needs to know the timeline to help her timeline.
Yes.
Because we hated Michelle. So
correct.
She needs to clear her timeline. You understand? So that's why she needs some kind of date that she can hold on to say, because tonight she gave that bullshit, excuse me for cursing, she gave that bullshit and said, I think it was my self-protection, my self-protecting myself. Michelle, cut the foolishness. You didn't like him from when he told you he smoked cigarettes. He cursed at your mother cursed around your mother at the wedding. You did not like the fact that he was living at home. Michelle, you broke down at your own wedding.
And it seems very easy to me. I don't understand why she just won't admit that. Why won't she just say he had pieces about or things about him that were so unattractive to me?
To me, yeah.
That I could not get past it. It wasn't physically what he looked like, but his financial instability for a girl that says that she had I'm sure food instability growing up, struggled financially as a family. When you meet someone that's financially unstable, that level of unattractiveness is immediate. And then the smoking, even for me, I like cigars. I hate cigarettes. I hate them. I could not marry a smoker. I could not do it. So it would be an immediate turn off for me too, because I'm pretty sure I would have put that in the questionnaire. Why was that not in the questionnaire? If you would marry a smoker, I feel like that
may be, but Michelle is it may have been, but Michelle is a go out. She's a drinker. She's a bar hopper. So maybe that's something that she put on the questionnaire. Yes, no, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Occasionally or something like that.
Maybe he lied about how much he actually does. He could, because some people will say, "Oh, I only smoke when I drink." Well, if you're drinking 70% of the time, then you're smoking 70% of the time.
You're right. Okay, they back on my end.
I think David said that on the honeymoon is when he first was attracted to her, but he didn't say that's when they first got physical.
Juan, the same hate. Now you want everybody to rally around you. So shut the fuck up, Juan.
Michelle, we knew you were a bitch. That's not just comments. That's who you were on TV. Like, and low key, you still have that energy in you.
Oh, your
Yeah,
friends and family
that bitch girl
reacting.
energy,
My mom took
resting
it
bitch
kind of
face
hard.
and everything else.
You know,
She looked pretty
finding out some
tonight,
of the
but
information.
no.
And wanting the toxic positivity, like, give me a break.
I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
David, you have a pretty close knit.
Your cousin Denise didn't know you was gonna lie like that, bitch. So you know, your cousin Denise did not agree. She did not know you, David. Stop that bull crap. Like you a good guy. You not a good guy, David. Somebody said that about Camille.
You want the viewers to
I guess
know
she
they
is
may
pretty
not
though.
learn.
Don't ask Akechi about his DMs or his Amazon book reviews because nothing to be happy about.
Why does it look like Carla's having like a little nip slip? For some reason, that little black thing isn't on there anymore. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
She's not high energy. Why does she think she's high energy?
This is not
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It does look like it slipped down.
Yeah, something's wrong.
Way to get
I don't believe she's different.
What the
Shut up, David.
and
Is this actually 2.5 hours?
You know who I'm talking about.
Or is there an
I
after show?
hope not. It's an after show, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Well, you hold it down because I got to use the restroom.
Okay, y'all. Yeah, because this is boring. I don't really care about what they're talking about. DM2 2023. I was just thinking the same thing about Camille's hair, but I feel like maybe because she probably does it, she wears it natural. I wonder if it was like humid in there and kind of got frizzy because they didn't do a really good silk press on her. I still think it's off too, and I don't know how you guys feel, but I still think it's off that Camille and Thomas hang out with Madison and David. I just feel like they were really quick to just be okay with that situation. So I don't know. I feel like for me, I would always kind of side eye Camille and David about that. Yeah, so I don't know. If there's one thing I'll say though, was this season highly entertaining. It was very entertaining. It gave us a lot of things to talk about. And I think it did a lot of exposing too, because I think it really exposed the experts on how terrible of a job they were doing from the beginning, even from the matchmaking process. It also highlighted how, like, the disparities of single women with like their stuff together, eligible looking for a partner, and like the very few men that are like equally yoked looking for the same. Like, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of single men. Two of the five on here, in my opinion, were marriage material, right? Whereas I would say 4 out of 5 of the women were. So that's a 50-50 split right there. So it to me, it really does demonstrate what it's like dating right now, where for every 2 women that are prepared and ready, there's only maybe one man available to that. And that's if all the stars align for you. So it gives me a clear understanding why there's so many people that are just like, I'd rather be single. After going through this experience, if I was Michelle or Carla, it's kind of like I would just rather be single. And look what Madison had to give up to get a partner. She had to get with a man who smokes, who lived with his parents. Now she's the breadwinner of that. She had to be okay with that. I mean, she had to. I'm sure she didn't get everything she clearly did not get everything she wanted. in order to find somebody that fulfilled. So she basically, they'll say it's an 80-20 split. I think it's more like she got 40% of what she wanted and gave up 60% of what she didn't. Like she's at a 40-60. But if this show is supposed to give you hope for finding a partner, I don't know if it did that. I really don't. And if you're a black woman that dates black men, I mean, that number significantly drops. What do you think, Auntie, about this show? I feel like it demonstrated just how few options women have for eligible men to date. I feel like that's what it demonstrated for me. Like how hard it really is.
Why it would which is why some of my people I know make excuses for dating married men.
Yeah. And it's scary. Yeah. Because they'll make the excuse, well, at least he can commit to something. No, he can't, but. Or separated men, It's like divorced or nothing. Like, even with I'm like, this man is not divorced. And frankly, neither are you. So.
Again, as I said, that's why some of my girlfriends will date a man that is married and separated. And it's because they feel like, some of them feel like they won't commit. They don't have to commit to them. They can still live their single life, right?
Yeah. And his husband on the side.
And he don't have to stay at their house. He stay with his what? You know what I mean? Like a lot of them find comfort in that.
And use my body lotions. And drink my liquor.
A lot of women, I'm telling you, feel like it's better to date a married man than it is to date a single one.
It's what's so crazy is I feel like the married men are probably treating you more like an actual girlfriend than the single ones are.
Yes.
Because it's like a thrill for them. They're gonna take you out. They have to take you out.
There is a clip that I have been wanting to talk about it, and I was going to hit you and Nathan up in the DMs. I'm gonna let the cat out the bag because there is a article or a guy that did a thing, and he was talking about women and their expectations for dates and why he's dating outside of his race. And I thought that would be a good subject matter for the three of us to come out here and talk about. So the cat's out the bag. I was going to hit you and Nate up in your DMs about it because, this guy is saying, he started dating women outside of his race because they didn't have the same expectations. And, what they said to him was Claudia from Real Housewives of Atlanta said, but are you dating the BBL girls? If you're dating the BBL girls, then you're going to spend BBL money, period. Because she's paying for that body that you're worshiping.
This is the guy that played Biggie, right?
Yes, yes. And he's ugly as fuck.
And he's playing these games. And he's not that attractive.
At all. And he's fat.
I'm like, baby, you're not Shamar Moore. You're not Shamar Moore.
You're not. And if you want a BBL and you got to pay the cost to
you
be
got to pay. You got to pay to ride the ride.
Kind of girls that you want to be with, they're going to want eye candy or be with you because of your celebrity, but they know that they're your eye candy and that everybody's watching. And for men, it brings up, we got to have these damn discussions.
Oh, yeah. Because I'm telling you right now, they don't realize that carnival rides cost different amounts of money. If you want to go on the merry-go-round, that's 2 tickets. If you want to go on the twisted and the tilt-a-wheel, that's 5, my guy. That's 5.
Absolutely. I mean,
get your money together.
I mean, even when you say carnival, when you think about cruise ships,
okay,
they make a big difference in what you spend on them.
Virgin Mobile, Virgin Voyages, Norwegian,
Cricket,
Carnival Cruise, Verizon, T-Mobile, Boost Mobile.
Okay,
Frontier Airlines, Spirit.
I mean, you're going to get what your money can afford. And then he's saying these other women do more. I am extremely submissive in my relationships. I cook, I clean, I do it all. right? And I don't need your money. Like, I don't need your money. So, but I don't expect you to take me to McDonald's,
Right.
Like, because I'm that kind of woman. Like, what do you mean? Like, every day we don't have to eat out at a 5-star Michelin restaurant, right? But I do expect to have that. If you think that I'm worth, it's like, what do you think that I'm worth, and what do you think you're worth?
Oh yeah. And to act like men do not connect money to worth and value to money is a lie. It's a lie. You do. So you take advantage of the woman. You'll call a woman a gold digger, but then you want her to go 50-50. Which one is it? You take advantage of a woman that's like, I'll do all these things for you, but then you treat her like she's a nobody. You're not investing anything back. What is your investment back? You need to you gotta give up something. You gotta lose something. That's why they make you buy the ring. That's why they tell you to spend 3 months worth of your income.
3 months worth of salary. 3 months, not 3 pay period. I mean,
No,
3 checks.
3 months. 3
months.
3 months worth of salary. They make you do that because you should feel it. It should feel like you invested. Because men connect money to how they value things, how important those things are. So that's why when KG's on here talking about, I don't care. No, you do care. Because you saw MM and how she was living, and you know how you live, and you know how men feel about money, and in your mind you knew financially you would never get to the point where you could invest in something enough to where even you felt like you'd given up something that she would be impressed by. But not even knowing her well enough to where she could have been, you could have given her a $500 diamond and she would have been fine. But that's his own stuff, you know?
So they said that they asked Madison, girl, what's the tea? Said they asked Madison what would she change about David, and she said his baggy clothes.
But yet she gave it up for him. See? Alan had to change his whole wardrobe to get a kiss.
Can't wait to show you.
Oh, they said something's getting ready to come up that we done talked all through this. Y'all excuse us.
I'm watching it. Sorry, y'all.
It's a watch party, okay? We watching and we talking, but we just went out on a tangent. But I mean, if you're up to it, I don't know if Nathan's still in the chat. I would love to have these kind of conversations. I'm gonna have to get a mic like yours though, because that mic, honey, is the bomb.
I love it.
I think that everybody would change David's clothes. I think everybody would change David's clothes.
Wanted his toxic positivity. I'm so sick of him. No one asked whether he accepted Madison and David.
Oh, did they just ask him that?
He just offered his opinion.
And said that he does accept it or he doesn't?
Yeah, he was like, we accept them. And I'm just like, they didn't cheat on you. Why would they need you to accept them?
Yeah, because you know what? That could be touche. We didn't accept that you didn't accept Carla. So, I mean, keep your mouth off of people's stuff, right?
Worry about your stuff.
Exactly. But Juan is very pompous. And for no reason at all.
Even like
everything he got is somebody else's or borrowed. He's not put together like he says he is.
No. I feel like he doesn't file his taxes every year. Or at least on time. He's got a few years backlogged, okay? He's got a few years backlogged.
You think so?
I don't think he files them taxes on time at all. I really don't.
Oh my goodness. Is he doing his own taxes or someone else is doing it for him?
I think he's finding somebody to write off things that have absolutely nothing to do with his business.
Okay. Okay. He's doing some creative accounting.
It's a little creative.
Okay.
It's a little creative.
Somebody said, Tamara said, Juan is annoying the dog out of me.
Maybe. It's very annoying. The toxic
You mean?
positivity is so annoying to me. And I'm just like, just stop. No one asked you. Nobody asked you, Juan. Like you wasted space on here.
Oh, y'all, Miss Madison didn't like the basement either. Everything Michelle asks about him moving from there, Madison asks the same thing. Okay. Oh, wow. So we missed that. Or at least I
But
did.
I think the big difference though is Madison is 29 and Michelle is 39. So your patience level at 39 for a man living in the basement is not the same as somebody that's 29.
Not for me.
It's just
And it
if
may
I
have been just the way my father and my mom raised me. I grew up in a two-family home and the expectation was different. So that would never have been acceptable for me.
it's
Never.
like, at in your 20s, if a man only has an air mattress in his home, but he's really fine, you might accept that.
My daughter wouldn't because I've never
But at
raised her.
35,
No, no,
absolutely
I
not.
really do believe it's who's speaking in your life. That's just come on, realistic. That is unacceptable on every fucking level.
A man a man at 25 with the air mattress and
How old is David?
and looks
David's
like
in his
and
30s.
and looks like Morris Chestnut in your 20s, you might accept that. But in your 30s, there's no
Mm,
way.
looks never did it for me. But anyway, I gotta pause because he said he about to drop some tea.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Oh, this is good times. I don't want to see good times. I want to see bad times. Oh, that's when they was getting along.
It's like
The wedding,
the
the
vibe,
wedding,
the music,
the wedding,
the
the
people, the
wedding.
family.
Juan is so fake. You notice there's like no good scene with Ikechi past like day one of them coming back to Chicago. There's like nothing good to show of him with anybody.
You see how they going down on Carla? There's a dress malfunction.
I agree. It was a shit show. Oh my god, look at him, MM's face when Akechi said it's over. I mean, I knew he was going to say that. He's not that damn creative. He couldn't even write vows.
So is this the after show? Oh, I hate when they have other people on there.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I hate that. The content creators and all that. I don't like that part. So as we wrap it up, because I don't know if I'm looking at next week or not, what do you think?
Well, it's gonna be. I guess it's like the after.
The after,
it might be good.
After.
Yes.
You know, back in the day, I don't know how long you've been looking at this. These seasons didn't go on this long.
This is the. I don't know if I told you, but this is the first season I've ever watched of the show. I've never watched it.
Really?
Never watched it before.
When you watched the show? Did you tell me that? I think you did share that.
Yeah, I think, like I told you, the only reason is because I saw like some random ad on in a clip, and I saw Akechi on there, and I'm like, that's when I said, oh, I think I'm friends with that dude on Facebook, and that's why I watched it. That's literally the only reason why I watched it. And then to find out he was so diabolical.
And how'd you find me?
Oh, I found you. I started watching you. I'm trying to think what's the first shows I watched. It's been a while. I watched you for a while.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the first shows though that I watched your review. I can't remember. It's been that long, so I can't really remember.
Okay.
But yeah, way before this show.
What a season.
I know, right? I was telling everybody in the chat, I said it was very entertaining. Like, you know, despite it being a mess at times, there have been very few shows where I've wanted to be in a watch party. And like, you know, like these last 2 weeks without the watch party just didn't hit the same for me because we didn't have people to talk to. And I just for the chat, you guys, I was like DMing Auntie, like I'm like, where are you at? I need you.
Yes, she was. And it was her and so many other people like, where the fuck are you at? You were nice about it. Some people weren't nice about it. They're like, are you seeing this? I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this.
Yes.
And it does feel good when you get to talk to other people and bounce, you know, ideas off and everybody, you know, family in the chat. You know what I mean?
You look forward to it. I like plan out my Tuesdays to watch it. And, you know, I just kind of try to make an event of it. Like, as you get older, there's only so many things you can look forward to, you know?
True.
So it's like, if you could have something fun in the week, you know, like, hey, let me get my little drink together, my little meal, and like, you know, get ready for a little kiki online, watch this show, see if people are feeling the same way I'm feeling about it.
Yeah.
You know, like, am I crazy or do y'all feel this way? Like, it's very validating, you know? So I have loved it. I remember when Sister Wives used to be like that, where you wanted to be on a watch
Yeah,
party. It's gotten so whack and lame
yes.
now, where it's like, oh my god, I'm over it. So yeah, I think the next I'm actually going to do a video about the Ruby Frank documentary that just came out. Oh my goodness, a mess.
Who is Ruby Frank?
So Ruby Frank and Jody Hildebrand. So Ruby Frank is do you remember the Lori Vallow case where she killed her kids and she like got married to this guy called Chad Daybell, like, and there's like
And
all these,
totally flipped?
and they have all these bodies stacked up on them, but they're very religious. They're like in the Mormon
Yeah,
community.
yeah, 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 yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm talking about? So
Yeah.
Ruby Frank was a big time YouTuber. They had like over 2 million subscribers. She was a family Mormon vlogger. She had 6 kids, and then what ended up coming to fruition is she was torturing and abusing her 2 youngest kids at the house of their therapist. And so the documentary they just released was her soon to be ex-husband and her 2 oldest kids. But this guy, I mean, he made me so mad watching it. I have never been so mad watching something. I have never seen somebody take so little responsibility.
Where is it at? Let me write it down.
It's
Ruby
on
Breaking
Hulu
News.
and it's on Hulu and Disney Plus. And I want to say it's called The Devil in Our Home or something like that.
Ruby Daybell.
No, this one is Ruby Frank and Jody Hildebrand.
That's the name of the show?
No, the doc's called, I think, The Devil in Our Home, something like that. But it's very but the way their story played out with how they did the kids and it being connected to like religion and just
But didn't they get locked up? Didn't somebody get in trouble for it?
all of them are in jail now. So
They were YouTubers.
they're in jail now. So Ruby and Jody are in jail now for up to 30 years. But they should have been charged with attempted murder. They only got like child abuse felonies. They should have got attempted murder with what they did to these kids. But yeah, it just kind of shows like how all like the religious indoctrination, their stories are very scarily similar, and they're connecting it all back to like the doomsday books and stuff that these people are reading and how they're really dangerous. So, like these people they just go to the left. And it's always these kids that are the victims. It's crazy. But yeah, I got to do a video about it because I was like, this is crazy.
I'm gonna have to look at it. I wanted to do one last thing before we get up out of here. I have to actually be on travel for the rest of the week. But I wanted to ask you one question. Who wore best? Who had the best fashion look of the women and the best fashion look of the men?
Oh, hands down, Michelle was number 1 for the women. I feel like that was a clear runaway with that one. She looks stunning head to toe. That gold looked fantastic on her. And she got the perfect tan, makeup, hair. I think she looked fantastic. And then for the men, let me think. I think with Thomas looked the best to me. I loved how his suit fit. Looked very clean. I did like a K-Cheese hat and his jacket, but I just don't like him so much that it's hard for me to give him a compliment without being snarky.
Okay. I agree. I think that Michelle looked the best. As far as fashion wise, I liked her tan, her rub on tan. I like that her face was, I like that soft glam look, right? Where it just looks very natural. I liked her hair and everything. I thought that she definitely took that.
She nailed it.
For the men, I gave it to Juan. I love that preppy boy bow tie type look. I loved it. So I gave that to Juan because I just like that look.
Yeah. None of the guys looked bad. I mean, Davis was kind of generic, but nobody looked bad on the guy side. But on the girl side, I really didn't think Camille's was as flattering as I've seen her.
I didn't get there yet. I didn't get to worse yet.
Oh, we're doing worse. Okay. I didn't know if we were doing worse. Okay.
So of the women, who was the worst dress?
Actually, Camille was not the worst. I just didn't like that choice. I thought MM fit her terribly. I don't know what was going on, but I absolutely hated that dress on her. She looked like she couldn't walk in it. It looked ill-fitting to me. I just was not a fan. And I feel like she had too much hair on her head for her size.
Yeah, and it was weighing down, and it
Yeah,
looked like it was too tight.
she looked really heavy to me, and not like in weight, but like she just looked like everything just felt too big on her, too heavy on her.
Mhm.
What about you?
I'm gonna have to give. I don't want to, but I'm gonna have to give it to Leprechaun ass Madison. I thought that the dress was ill fitting. I thought that at any time she was gonna be like Carla and have like a nip slip.
Yeah,
I didn't. I thought it looked too promy, like she was going
too
out to the
crummy.
prom, and it just wasn't good for the show. I think that green, you got to really be careful when you on cameras because it will come off awkwardly looking, and I think that that's absolutely proof in the pudding that green is just not a good color on television, especially when your breasts are hanging out like that. Yeah, I didn't like her. I didn't like her hair. I didn't like anything.
You know what's so funny is for all the mess she gave Alan, her look, everything about her is very dated.
Yes.
Like her style of clothing, she doesn't really have very much style actually.
No, she does not. And the weave color never matches.
No, she's got like I think it's because her extensions are not human. So I feel like that's why maybe it's
Okay.
a lot of bad clip-ins instead of like spending the money and getting it like really done accurately. Because when you go into the salon, and you drop some money, they're dyeing it in house, to like
Yeah.
to match.
Yeah.
Whereas
And they
hers is
dyed it
like,
to match.
yeah, hers is more like I ordered it online and like clipped it in.
Yeah, kind of like Barbie hair.
Yeah, you gotta take it in. You gotta take it into the salon and have them dye to match, especially when you have all those different um shades of blonde going on. But she
Yes.
looked old. The style because she has no style, it ages her.
Yes. Do you think that you will watch this show next season with the same experts, or do you expect to see different experts?
I want Dr. Pepper gone and Dr. Pia gone. I just
I want Dr. Calvin gone. Pastor Calvin. I
I
think
think they
all of them. I think they
yeah,
need to do. The show is in its 18th season.
clear it.
It's totally time for some new blood
Yeah. Yeah, because I
all
think
the way around.
even though this is the first season I've watched it, I should not be this disappointed in the experts
Yeah.
only seeing one season. And for me, I'm thinking about anybody, if you watch this season, this is your first time watching the show, I have no faith in expertise here.
Mhm.
So it would
Mhm.
be if I went on another season, I'm just going to anticipate that they're going to get it wrong again. I'm not even going to assume that they can maybe get it right because they got it so wrong here. And then throughout the entire season, we're telling them what to do as experts, and they didn't even know what to do. And then we're in this reunion, and we're watching Dr. Pepper just show up to get a check, and she hasn't followed up with anybody. No one's followed up. There's been no like, hey, Alan, you went through a pretty traumatic experience. Maybe we should have some sessions after the fact to make sure you're transitioning properly.
And I
None of
don't
that
think that
aftercare was provided. Where was the
no,
aftercare?
no, no, or counselor. But the thing about it is, you got to understand, Dr. Pepper doesn't live with her husband. They
So
live in
what's she on
two
the show
different
for?
houses, and she
Now
said
what?
that they've lived like that for years.
She's not okay. Now listen, I'm all for the separate bedrooms. I've said that for like a very long time, especially when if you get married older.
Hmm.
I feel like a separate bedroom makes a lot of sense. A separate home, come on.
Dr. Pepper, if I'm not mistaken,
She's like Cheryl
is
Ralph.
that her husband, they don't live together.
Well, then I guess it's just for tax purposes then, because why are we together? Why
She
are we
said it worked
married?
for their relationship.
I mean, so that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's just for taxes.
Maybe. But where do you know or have you heard? And I was trying to look to
Cheryl
see
Ralph
where the
does.
next season is going to be. Yeah, she doesn't live with her husband either.
Mm-mm.
But do you know where the next season is going to be?
When is it going to start?
Where is it going to be? What
Oh
city?
no, I have not seen.
Yeah, I
Maybe they
haven't
haven't
seen anything
maybe they
either.
haven't announced it since it's moving to a different network. Um,
Allegedly.
yeah, so I don't know. I have not seen. I thought maybe at the end of this they might hint at where it's going to be at. Kind of like how they did Love Is Blind, where they said the next um city for them will be Denver.
Hmm.
So yeah, I am kind of shocked. Where would you want it to be at? Like if you could pick a good place, I feel like they need to go to the Midwest. Like I bet you they would have had way better results in like a Midwest place where like a lot of those parents are still together and there's just an expectation of the commitment of marriage. Because even though Minnesota for Love Is Blind was kind of a mess, I feel like that was not the right demographic. But I feel like this age demo and this show would do really good in Minneapolis. I bet you they'd have a very high success rate on couples
Okay, girl,
getting
what's the
married.
teaser? They are casting for Seattle, Kansas City, Phoenix, and Las Vegas.
I think Kansas City would do well. I live in Phoenix. I think it would do horribly.
I do too.
And actually, I believe if they get away from the strip in Las Vegas, they could probably do pretty good because away from the strip in Vegas is a
Hmm.
completely different world than on the strip. I like
Yeah,
looked
very
a lot in
Mormon
Vegas.
too, right? Don't they have a lot of Mormons and
In Phoenix, there's a ton here in Mesa, but
yeah.
they're not going to go through a show like this, and they don't really struggle with marriage. I mean, there's an expectation and a commitment in that community to get married either very young or even if you get divorced and you're older, they're pairing up. They already have their own singles ministry situation set up. They don't need a show like this. You know, they're pretty set up. But I bet you Kansas City, Seattle is very expensive. So and culturally, I don't know how that would work. I'd be curious as to how that works because they kind of have a big
Okay.
tech sector there. And then you have some people that are natives. Smaller, but the diversity pool is significantly less, but very liberal. And high vibe that says black men in AZ don't want black women, that would be accurate AF. So
Oh, really?
I definitely do not want to see a black woman get on that show, get paired with a black man that has been in Arizona for too long, and he embarrasses her the way Akechi embarrassed MM.
Really?
And actually worse because he doesn't like black women. And there are a lot of single black women here. I mean, you have to outsource your men here. You're not going to find a black man here today. Good luck. You're not going to find one.
You ain't gonna find one in DC either.
It's a lot better than here. Believe me. At least in those other places, there's at least like a minimal amount of respect. Whereas in Arizona, it's like active disrespect. I've never experienced
Mm.
it anywhere else in my life. And I grew up in Colorado, which is like, there's not like there's a ton of us there either. But I didn't receive active disrespect from black men. It might have been a little bit harder, you know, but it was never that difficult. And they never were like anti black women there.
Oh,
They just
how
were kind of more
interesting.
mixed up. But yeah, Arizona is very anti, very
Oh,
anti,
really?
extremely.
I wouldn't have guessed it.
Yes, it is. And even if they came, they'll move here from like the South and act like they've never seen a black woman in their lives. Like it's crazy. It's so crazy to me. I'm like, your mama is black. Your aunties, your grandmas, and then come here and act just like look right through you. Not even like speak. Not even speak. It's crazy.
Really? That's interesting. So do you have to date outside your race?
Either that or you need to, like I said, outsource. You need to go, you need to travel to meet somebody. I've dated a few here, but it's like, no.
Wow. Well, we've got a lot to talk about, child. We might have to get us a little something going on where we alternate channels back and forth and talk about these different dating topics and stuff
Yes.
like that. I mean, like this is really interesting. I love this. I love the people that are here right now. That there's 108 people in the chat, but actually there are 1,000 people watching, and so we thank you so much for watching. We may have to just go on over there to Red Lipstick and have these kind of conversations because I always think it's interesting. I'm from the old school, so
Uh-huh.
dating for me is different.
Very much
Um,
so.
because I date, I just date differently.
Yes.
And I think that when you have children too, which is why I'm shocked about Brandon, but not really because men can, some, not all men, some men can detach from their children
Very much
and
so.
they'll date you like they never have any.
Yes.
And
And
so
that's
it
a
was
red flag.
good for MM to say that she has a relationship with the kids.
Very much so. It's a
Because
big red
that
flag for
means
me.
there's a strong black woman on the side that's raising those kids.
Very much so. Last thing you want is a man that ain't taking care of his kids. That absolutely not.
Yeah, and I think that was a red flag for all of us, right? As we watched this, because we were wondering what was going on with the kids. So I thought that
Yeah.
was very good, right? But I think that for a man like that, there's no way in the world that I would even consider being pregnant by him.
Oh no.
And I don't know why she decided to do that, but maybe it's because some women feel like their biological clock is ticking, it's on its last leg, and they, just get pregnant by anybody. I don't know, but I hate to say it, but it just kind of, in a way, for me, kind of verifies or solidifies what it catchy said. It would have been anybody, because
Anybody.
come to find out, she did not know him, that they had
No.
just met.
No. Yeah, that her whole situation towards the end of this show became so troubling to me. And I think unfortunately for women like her and I think even for you and I, when you're like successful and you're dating older and technically you would be a catch, to me she made us all look real crazy.
Real cheap.
And I'm like,
Just cheap.
why did
Just
you
cheap.
like, yeah, all the value that we have spoke about women like us, you just threw it all away for a bald 6'2" guy and a ring from the pawn shop. Like, that was a pawn shop, Auntie. That, like, why? She gave it all up
It's
for a
all
pawn
about
shop ring?
self-worth. It's all about, but I mean, he was right though. And I mean, I can't stand his ass, but I quickly, as the season ended, saw that it didn't make a difference who it was. And
It
I
didn't.
gave her the benefit of the doubt and said, well, she did it because the experts, um, she was going to she trusted the experts. Remember, that was my claim to fame. Nah, bitch. It could have been anybody.
Mhm.
That's really how I'm seeing it.
Yeah. And we were all on her side, for a very long time because he clearly is a narcissist and has some other things going on with him, which
Yeah.
we've talked about. I think he might have had some abuse issues in his childhood that
Who?
Akechi, that are like manifesting now. He just gives that vibe off for me, and like almost with the narcissism is like a protection for him. Um, he's just very interesting. But yeah, when he said she could put anybody in there, have a plug and play husband, I think for all of us, we were just like, well, no, don't say that about her. But as we are witnessing, I've never seen two people work so hard to make us believe something that is pretty much clear as day, not believable.
Not believable.
I mean, if it came out that Brian guy, is it Brian or Brandon? Brian? If it turned out that he ended up being like a whole cheater on her or like ABUSIVE or thing, I would not, Brandon, that's the name. I would not be shocked if he ended up being like a horrible person actually. And this was all an act. Just by the act he put on, I feel he seems like one of those people that's crazy that like will like you'll snap and they'll be like a different person, you know? Like they get that
He's like
wild look in their
he's
eye.
like a serial dater, right? And a serial type of cheater on his wife. To me,
Yes, it gives
I
that.
don't think this is his first rodeo at this.
No.
There's something really, really suspicious about him.
Slimy.
Just so slimy and grimy, and just and he's got it down to a science.
Yes.
It's an art for him.
It
And
is.
guys like that would automatically, like if you're bold enough to walk up on a woman who you know is successful and say, yeah, I'm sleeping on my sister's sofa.
Right.
And
The
you can talk
audacity.
yourself out of sleeping on somebody's sofa. This ain't your first rodeo.
No. And and that's terrible. You know what? Akechi is not a good person, but he can sniff out a man that's not one either. And I think that's why he's looking at him like, dude, he won't admit to himself that he's not a good guy, but I think he sees in Brandon, this is performative, dude. Like, you're just as performative as I am.
Absolutely. Because that crap at the end, he begs for attention. And I can't stand a showboaty guy that draws a whole bunch of attention to me.
Oh, yeah. Please don't do that.
That's such a turn off.
It was very embarrassing. I was embarrassed. I had like secondhand embarrassment.
Yes. And okay, so then I'll take the third hand embarrassment. It's so embarrassing for him to stand up and say, I want to leave here and go on my vacation, a married man. Like, what are you talking? And then to come out and say, you know, I had it better and I won.
What?
What?
Who does that? This is not your show.
Oh, yes, it is. It's turned into his show.
He's trying to take the show over, okay?
And I think that there was a desire in to be validated by someone, right?
Very
and I
much
think that she wanted to be like Michelle. I don't want to walk away. I'm the only one who doesn't have anyone.
Very much that.
Right? Yeah.
Instead of her just walking away like Alan did and say, hey, I'm just going to do my thing, date a few people, see what happens. Why couldn't she just do that?
I don't know.
It's like, oh, now I have to hear all these men online validate all this mess. We're like, I'm like, we don't have anything to stand on. As we have to take the L. It's like City Boys Up 1000. I'm just like, I just gotta take the L. I can't even talk or spin around it.
You take the L. I'm not taking the L for MM's bullshit. I'm not in her age bracket. So, you know, I'm an older woman. We don't do stuff like that.
I'm older than she is. I mean, she acts like an old woman, but I'm like, girl, I almost got 10 years on you. You would think she was like older, but she's actually, isn't she only like 33?
I don't know. I know she's young.
She's pretty young.
A grown, sexy. So it just shows that you know, it just shows that no matter how successful you may be on the outside, if you haven't dealt with family issues, family trauma, the rejection of her father, abandonment, and stuff like that, you will date exactly what your dad was or was not.
Oh, yeah.
You have to get therapy. She needed to be healed of that, you know? It's just so unfortunate because I think that M said that he didn't tell her that he loved her until his deathbed. And not to hear the you know, I love you from the man in your life, right? Means that you'll go to any man who says, I love you.
Yeah, very much that. I'm very close with my dad. So I heard I love you a lot. So yeah, he taught me all the rules of the game. So I'm like, you can't pull no wool over my eyes. Like, nice try, A for effort. She kind of acts like a teenager that didn't get a date a lot when she was younger. It's almost like she's like a teenager dating.
And she may be because she is from African descent, right?
She's Nigerian. And I want to say
they're very strict with their girls with dating and stuff. Yeah.
Her emotional maturity when it comes to like dating feels delayed.
Yeah.
To me.
I would agree.
Even though she's older. And also too, she went to school to be a doctor. and if she was really focused, right, she probably wasn't really doing much dating at all.
Or hanging
She
out with the girls.
or hanging out or doing anything.
Mhm.
Like, they say that sometimes doctors can be, emotionally delayed and,
Yeah.
like, socially delayed because of that, because there's so much focus that goes into
Mhm.
studying. But, yeah, I kinda
Mhm.
noticed that about her, and yeah. So, yeah, I'll just be waiting to watch everybody else talk about her.
And the thing about me is I don't watch, right? I try not to watch because I don't want my opinion about what I think when I do my review to be skewed by
Yes.
something that I've heard someone else say.
Oh, yeah. I definitely if I'm doing a review on a show, I do not watch anybody until I have already done my
Yeah.
stuff, uploaded it, and then I'll take a look at people's stuff after the fact, because 'cause you're right. I don't want it to, like, cloud or change my opinion. What I think about it is what I think about it. But I do like seeing some of the men's opinion on this show, and I'm like, I feel like this show has brought out a lot of men
Yes.
and their wives and girlfriends, which I'm kind of thinking is I'm loving that. I'm loving seeing all the wife and husband collabs online right now
I don't like
talking
them.
about it. No,
I
oh man,
tried
there's
to
some
like
good
that
ones.
one couple. I don't like it.
Yeah, some of them aren't good, but some of them are pretty. I think it just depends on the emotional maturity of the husband. Because if he's kind of all over the place and really has no like conversation or something to contribute, it's not good. But there's about one or two where the husband is like very emotionally mature, so his contribution to the dialogue is not to be the jokester, but to have like actual conversation. You can tell the difference for sure.
Yeah. I
But this
don't
was great. We'll definitely have to get together and do some coffee chat.
Absolutely. I would love that. Oh, let me get you this. Thank you so much. Is this Aaliyah? Jay for the $2 super chat. My dad used to say, don't be an educated dummy. Absolutely.
Period. And that's MM right now. Literally an educated dummy. It's
I
so
want
sad. She's going
to
out bad, y'all. She went out real bad.
really
She went out so bad.
so fucking disappointing. I mean, she did not represent the girls.
Like I said, city boys up on her because, geez, girl. Uh,
It was just horrible. Well, thank you so much for being
thank
here. Thank
you,
you to all of you
Angie.
all for being here. Thank you to all it's 1,100 people. Thank you all so much for being here and joining us. Thank you for all of the 111 people in the chat. Y'all, the polls were phenomenal. So let me give y'all the polls results. So hold on one second. So let's give the poll results. So I asked the question, is Brandon doing too much? There were 79 people who took the vote, and 97% of you all said yes, he is doing too much. I also polled you all and asked you the following. Let me find it. Let's find it. Oh God, it didn't let me go back that far. Oh, I should have took a picture. Oh, I know I asked you all a question about I don't know why it does this. I've seen some people, they're able to put their chat in the box and mine won't. So I don't know. But I did ask you all about the experts. You all do believe overwhelmingly. I do remember seeing that you all overwhelmingly believe that the expert needs to be changed. Oh, I also asked y'all, were y'all shocked about Michelle um wanting that tax or hoping that tax was indeed for her? I know, I remember that one was 55% of you all said yes to that. And so yeah, it's just been a great season. I thank you all so much for being here. I will be doing my review with you all, and that should be up. Today is Tuesday. That should be up I guess I'll have to do that on Friday since I'll be traveling this week, the remaining portion of the week. Look out for my 600-pound life, giving an update on Mila from I believe season 4 and season 5. So you don't want to miss that, okay? But again, thank you so much, Ray Della, for moderating the chat. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Beautiful. And until we meet again, y'all be safe out there in those streets and in the water. Love y'all. Bye.